Samsami and Donna will very often be playing together on this attacking side, taking space as a duo. But where that puts the pressure, I think, is on Full Moon, who did have some moments in the first game to get value on this lurk. I'm also just interested to see them playing post-nerf Vice. A lot of teams
on one side favour, surprise, surprise, the Koreans, but we'll have to see if they can beat a squad they've struggled against, and that's not the start they were looking for.
Immediate shutdown. Graves going back in for more, another bite, but down to 3 HP. There's time to fall back at least. Ninetails not able to punish. They've taken a few blows of their own, and that side angle from Graves gets another. Mighty not spotted on the backside until just now. With the chance to make this really costly, she can just stay alive as the teammates come flooding back in, and the right clicks land across the board. Xipto, 1-0 to start this out, and as you can see on the top of your screens, Xipto go for aggression down on mid. 4 players pushing up. We've seen this a couple times. We saw it in the last round where they're willing to give up map control. This time it's towards the B site, leaving Vito's little trap there to section off that info. Ever knows there's a player close, but the second will catch them off guard. And as well, at least find one, but sliding in after being seized, that is a risky play and no reward this time. Advantage to Xipto.
And now they've been able to completely reposition, and they're basically just playing for rotations. The fact is, though, Graham's in a great spot to try and just deny them. Look at the swing together, but even still, 3-3-2 has found one. The problem is 25 health, 2 to find. I think realizing in the retake she stands no chance. It turns out she had no chance either way. Graham's with another onto the board.
On a 3-0 start, that pressure's going to mount on the other side, but the reality is, this is Xipto's map pick, but it is also somewhere we expect Ninetails to do well. Early fight goes to Xipto, and they're going to keep scrapping for this control over main. That's going into Ninetails' favor. They've got the numbers, and they're overwhelming them.
He's still here. Maybe not expecting another player, but even still, Haste, quick at her toes, is going to be able to trade that out. It's left all onto Graham, seemingly wanting to get as many ghost kills as possible. Another added to the tally. She has been off to a flyer of a start. Almost just playing the bait, I like it. Using the steps of the fake out to mask her actual move. You could see they are patiently waiting for someone to try and swing, someone to try and give something away. Instead, Graham's was just waiting for the tap. We'll now have to play that retake in the end.
Fake teleport.
Blocking vision.
Time, plenty of it on the clock for Graham's to clear all these angles, but the problem is, you know, as you move forward to clear out pit, the space that you've spotted before behind you is now open. There's no safe haven to play from, and with so many angles that these remaining players could be hiding on, trying to pull them out into the fight is the only option. The grab well avoids that, though. An idea from Graham's of those positions on long, but the shots, they do not land. Ninetails find themselves there first with a MasterCard Thrifty, and I like the adjustment to go as 5.
It was great work from Ninetails, but I do think at the same time some overcommitment from the other side.
Well, that won't happen this time, as immediately they'll be backing off with the reveal on A, sending Xipto back towards the side itself, but the push coming out on mid instead. Again, this is something that we're seeing from Xipto every single round. They get aggressive, and Ninetails seem to have a read on that, leaving players to lurk outside of B and mid while this pressure's made on main, and now Xipto push down on main, but of course Ninetails are waiting again, playing into their hands. The read is perfect for Ninetails. Every shot seems to land. Graham's alone with an op in hand. A very tough clutch to make happen. First will be found, though. The chance to pick up a rifle instead of that op.
Cutting through.
Just to get that weapon. Graham's believes that she has a chance.
Maybe it'll be genius, but we'll have to wait and see. Back the other way, and well, a millimeter away from putting this into a 1v1. The problem now is going to be the amount of time on the clock. I feel like she just accidentally alt-tabbed. Because it just, froze on the spot in the middle of the clutch. But hey, she decided to get the operator go out of there. Done a little bit of extra damage, but I don't know, trading out the dimensional drift for what is an extra kill, I don't know if that's worth it.
Yeah, it's not worth it for an extra kill, but look at the potential. I mean, there was a shot that whizzed right past Haste's head, and then the op in the 1v1, but Graham's needs to run, needs to flee. That op is valuable in the next round, but luckily, Haste isn't going to go swinging. 5 HP.
And then the operator Just trying to hold down that mid-cross. Still with this aggressive position, though. There's a chance.
Ninetails again. That corner is going to be cleared as well. Although Piety does well to still find one in that position. Up shot hits the leg. Dana down to 30. How much more can be found from this spot? Now a lot. Capricious landing a big kill, going back to clear. Full Moon has got the knife out, but the shots don't land. Oh, it's a disaster. That's Full Moon. Shines bright. It's 3 to 3. Ninetails tie it up. Unless they are late sending a player through mid, like it's not like we've seen a massive shift from the entire team there a lot. Although we did in the previous round when they walked through the door.
Here.
The problem is that the goal, I feel, was for Con to try and delay. There is no delay to be had. I think she was going to immediately try and grapple them, but once a player runs through, there really isn't much of an option for her to do that. It leaves an easy site take with only one defender, and while Grahams may know that there was a player on the other side of this wall, doing anything about it is going to be difficult. Maybe a chance to try and pre-fire 3-3-2. That could make things interesting. Leaves a little bit of an opener, but that time is ticking and still plenty of post-plant. And now with only one standing, Capricious may just want to try and save the operator. Never mind, we'll go down to Haste. 5-3 up now. They are running away with this.
A huge round from Haste. I think we see exactly the benefit of this style of play from Ninetails in playing that little bit slow.
A full city on the Xipto side, and it's holding players into that side of the map. 30 seconds left. Now the game will be given away, and there is that quick rotation that you mentioned, a third player in towards this site, but Dana already taken a large amount of space, but also taking a bullet to the dome. Graham's rotation has already worked this magic. Full Moon, though, has just sprinted in. Core with utility in hand, but the trades from Ever are even better. Graham still trying to hold on to the back line, but Ever is just better.
10 seconds
Only
left.
Con remaining. Plenty of guns to find.
Planted.
But are any of them in a place that can be retrieved? There's one to her left, but getting to it would revolve around killing Ever. It's not pretty, but it's got the job done. Guardian retrieved, but it won't matter. 3-3-2. Comfortable to close. And what was probably the closest round we've seen in a while still goes the way of the Koreans. Especially when you've been struggling on retakes in general. I maybe would have liked it kept to try and drag home one of these buy rounds. Already though, a very fast take in towards this B-side. It's been mostly A hits, and so a complete different change. And now Haste is perfectly positioned. Even expects the second. Wow, this is looking like a completely different Ninetails to the other day.
It's deja vu for Xipto, because this is the same spot Haste found a double from a couple rounds ago, and now they go running into her again. Capricious alone, and oh, the knife's out! Luckily, she will be spared the taste of the blade, but the bullet does the job just the same. 8-3.
See if they can maybe bring things back at least a little closer.
Watch out, gotta go.
Stun in the slide here, but up close there's a judge to deal with. It doesn't matter.
Here we go.
Apparently it never does in this half, as Ever takes the double. And Xipto find themselves in a 5v3, at least one to be returned.
What is Con's crosshair? I've only just noticed that. That's oh, definitely interesting. Not one I've seen before. Oh, hey. Yeah, as you said, it's done the damage nonetheless. In the meantime, the B site now under pressure. Here we go, completely blinded. And it does again. She's doing the work. Maybe it's the crosshair to use. Maybe I'm wrong. Grahams is there as well, and it still leaves two standing. The problem is, again, that weaponry not the best. Operator looked away at the wrong time, and the wraparound from Dana. Perfectly placed, but taking a lot of damage as she goes. 3-3-2. Where are you going with that shorty? Expected someone a little closer. Graham's with one more. It comes down to the 1v1, but she walks out while reloading. Oh no! It's the 9th for Ninetails, and I feel like everything that could have gone wrong in this half.
And all the barriers up, and the second half is underway. Ninetails had a lot of success in taking A main when it came to their attacking side, and now on the defense, it's going to be more of the same, allowing those rotations to be a little bit more freely used. You can already see there's a TP that's online towards that B site, and it's going to be taken. There's pressure already applied. Capricious finding the opening will send this entire defensive side, well, for a moment, scattered, moving towards the B site. But now they look to re-clear, fight towards middle, and if they're quick enough, they might even catch that rotation. The spike is on its way, but all of Xipto are here.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Haste has still been able to do incredible work, and the last are so desperately low. Only Graham's left once again, but with 8 HP, it would need to be impressive. It's not a bad start, but the last player, she doesn't know she's here. 3-3-2, and she was nodding before she took the kill. She knew exactly what she was about to do. 10-3, that might be the nail in the coffin for map 1.
Go, go,
Even a
go.
left click.
Yeah. Little RNG as well. You don't even need to aim. But yeah, it's somewhere now that they have to go back to a plan B, and it's going to be a contact up towards main, and they've actually found one. Ever dropped A site completely open as a result, and with the Vice wall covering off Art, they don't have any info. By now, those players could have shift walked out, and now they realize that there is presence elsewhere on the map, the B site. And it's a Yoru that could easily be a TP to rotate this position from Sammy is perfect. She's walking up behind them. They have nothing to cover their back. The utility used towards the A site in the early round. For a moment, we saw Con checking, and Con goes back. Okay, Con's actually clearing it, but Sammy the one to win the fight. A flash and a decoy ready, and that's sending them into Full Moon as they know they don't have control over Long anymore. A chance for Full Moon to swing in from the top rope, but back already open.
Actually done well. Survived maybe a little bit longer than would have expected, and the chance for her teammate was big, but now Graham, I think, putting out that ultimate in a spot where it's necessary, can figure out where they are. Even still, though, they've been isolated. An opportunity. It's left all onto Graham's once again. Had to reposition to try and get eyes onto the spike. First shot connected, and Tag desperately low. Is there time? It's close. I think just about, yeah, she's going to have this. In fact, it's not particularly close. It will be.
Just on her. Those two players in Con shouldn't have lost that
one.
fight.
I don't mind where it was. Yeah, that was the thing. I think where it was popped, I was actually fine with it, but it just didn't go to plan this time.
Big stuns. They've slowed down this push in A main. They've heard the steps as well. Ninetails know what's coming, but it's a different story to try to deal with it.
Low player on the side as well. That will be a second found. A good start to a round that needs to be the start of 9 in a row. Again, we're going to see 3-3-2 put herself into a pocket that, oh, I was going to say wouldn't be expected, but it will now be expected. Con is just waiting for a singular move, and unless her spidey senses are tingling, they're all coming back. I can actually hear people moaning in the crowd. It's like, oh, why did she have to get spotted? Well, it's unfortunate, but already a fairly heavy deficit.
Well, Haste has done well. The thing is, like, with the way these rounds have gone, we haven't seen Xipto win since round 3. There's always a chance, but Graham seems to have finally connected the round that Xipto needed long ago to get everything in line, to not give them a way back in, because when you start to feel like, you know what, we got there in the end, then that second map's a little bit easier mentally to fire up into mid-fight. And Yumi's done well to find 2, but it's trades out. And on a round like this where Ninetails don't have a lot of cash, invested that is, that's all that you need, is to trade that out.
Info P, I think. Mighty actually with util in hand, and the cover wasn't there. Graham's now looks like she's going to go down as well. 3-3-2 taking over, and only Con, the player to try and save them. First should be easy. Second player just around the corner though, and she'll get that as well with the spike in hand. But there's already been a rotation, a full read from 3-3-2. She is in prime position to end this map here and now. Started rotating immediately. The nod's out again into the smoke. Is she trying to get a knife kill? That's what it looked like. She's had to TP all the way to the other side of the map just to escape.
It's a word I don't think I've ever said, Tom. Certainly not unironically, but genuine aura play right there. To go for the knife to close the map after 12 rounds in a row after
I thought you were
calling
going to
the
say
timeout.
trolling, but
Yeah. You got an 8-round lead. I mean, why not? And look, here she comes. It's over. A 4K for Sammy. An unbelievable display down on that stage. The squad
She's ulted instead of defusing, by the way.
comes in as the underdog.
You can't see this. She used her ult and just stood there for a bit, aura farmed, and then when it defused.
Thank you, Douglas. Yes, getting into this second map, Tom, I have to say, much quicker than I expected. Regardless of who you thought was winning the first, that was a quick and dominant showing from Ninetails that I don't think anybody expected. I mean, even if it was Xipto winning.
While looking a bit mentally boomed, it's going to be difficult to reset that in such a short amount of time. As I said, it's good they've got their coach here now, but can that make the difference?
Oh, no!
And it's capricious.
Don't start like this. It's not, it can't be a knife. Okay, it's the spray. At least the bullet takes them down. And an opening pick for Ninetails. And Sammy will be caught on the way back, though. Good trade, and it's leaving just one towards this B side. A lot of pressure now mounting on Full Moon, but Full Moon's been delivering almost every time.
Oh.
Great flash, great dive, still alive, but finally Full Moon falls.
Graham's. Ooh, nice shot, but an immediate trade. Stun out, Ever under pressure and gone, and now it's left all onto Dana. A chance, the shots almost managing to remove another. Both players tagged low.
One hit.
An opportunity, but it is baller from Graham's just straight across. Finds the kill and an important triple to get them that pistol.
So no late round control over Bath unless you're putting players there, and Ninetails certainly are. Not quite the fight that they expected as Sammy takes a double. And Xipto, they're a player down with a big stack on this A side. If they decide to run into it, they've made the right call to just back off.
Full Moon. Now no longer on that Senti roll, which was so impactful in the last, but still up to the same mischief. Worryingly, Dana's managed to get herself a Bucky. This is one of the few places that's perfect, but the paranoia is good. Close angle, nice work from Ever. How has she managed to get two? She was low on HP already, and then the flank out from Full Moon. Well, it's not a 3-0 start this time. It's a MasterCard Thrifty in round number 2.
Pulled back by the utility. And the walkthrough, not going to find anyone on the other side. Nobody isolated on Ninetails as they just give up this space.
I guess you weren't expecting Dana to be up there. It looks a little silly, and wow! Okay, Dana! Crowd open for an ace. Well, I was going to say it doesn't look possible because of the position. They're not going for a knife.
They're giving it to her. No, they're giving her the ace.
Okay.
They're giving her the ace! That's a good teammate right there. You'll love to see it.
That's what we like to see from Dana. The 16-year-old gets the ace on the stage. A youngster with a huge amount of confidence already, and that's only going to send it flying. I'm almost just waiting for the reaction. There you go. We're looking at the coaches.
Maybe she was just a stone cold killer in that moment.
She was celebrating on the cam, I can see it.
Well, fourth round and a chance for Xipto to deal some damage. Trades are good to start it for the defensive side, who do come in with some weaknesses. The problem here for Xipto is when it comes to retakes, if that's where they end up, or a bit, I guess, too much of a telegraph play, the ulti online for Dana, which no surprise after the ace in the previous, have a lot of impact bridging the gap between any weaknesses and the rifles in play, but, well, there's no weaknesses anymore. The Outlaw's on the floor. Dana, though, ready and waiting. The ult will be popped. The timing is near perfect. Both players caught in the corner, but Con was not stunned up. Xipto only have Ever to deal with, and those salvos will give the position away.
It's a reveal.
Spike planted.
And already being pulled in as well by Capricious Utility. A decent recovery from Xipto. A round on the board, but you also have to bear in mind that the economy of Ninetails over the last couple has been sent.
Yeah, you can't see that taper off too early. Look at this aggression from Dana. The refract online needs to get around that corner soon, but a little too soon. In fact, it's Ever trading it out and keeping this even despite losing the big guns. They've got themselves a fair bit of control, and look at this from Sammy. The wrap up behind hasn't yet been fully spotted. The steps are heard, the plant will be coming through. This is very, very dangerous. You're going to see these players in spawn make noise. The dog send through the steps behind it. They know 2 players in spawn, and they're worried about bathroom, but for good reason. That player was Bath, but now pushed all the way up behind. The timing is insane. Graham's just checked short, and Sammy tucked in, now swinging in for the kill. The advantage for Ninetails just keeps on compounding. They even spotted Piety trying to sneak out of the smoke. Ninetails right back into the lead. We're not going to see anything crazy, I'd imagine, from Ninetails, not pushing up like they have in a couple of these rounds so far. You can say that. Sammy walks out of hookah. Not certain about that one, and that's a huge punish, especially when utility had just come. Like, you knew there was a player there. And on a pistol round where there's one, there's often more.
Oh, rifle retrieved.
Seeker's used.
Something extra to play with. Cosmic Divide going to be put into place as well. Nightfall also. They're throwing everything at this one, and Dana's managed to duck in between. They know there's one up above, and Yumi's done well. A quiet start to the game. Her first kills. Oh, this is risky. Really wanting to play through, but that is an easy fight for Graham's. Yumi has truly woken up, and now Ever is all that remains. An attempt to fight versus 3, and the first 2 went her way. I thought for a second she was about to do something crazy. Instead, it's the MasterCard Thrifty coming through for Xipto. Cosmic Divine just to try and make that plant a little bit more awkward. And in fact, it's going to force a full rotation. 3-3-2 perfectly placed. This could be the moment for the judge to take over, but an important trade by Con. That will now allow them space, and actually the Cosmic Divide is going to help them out a little bit of getting into this site. Dana's taking a risk, and the risk pays off this time, but it's only for one. The spray is wild from Ever. From beauty to the beast, as it has gone completely wrong.
You see Waylay a lot of the time here. Ninetails are avoiding those early fights, but if they do get spotted by that dash, you can immediately hit the stun, refract, and then someone else is following up. So it's very, very dangerous. Exactly like that. But she even gets the kill before fading away. That's nasty.
Already. Just ultimate combo. Graham's. Oh, actually take it down. In fact, 3-3-2 has evolved. Taking over the round. Ultimates being counted across the board, and what started off so strong with this? Ooh, there we go. Capricious, even a little bit of body spam. Spike down on the ground though. It feels like it's going to have to be declared. This is a little bit aggressive though from 3-3-2, a completely isolated fight that could have easily gone wrong, but doesn't get punished for it. There's plenty of time for Xipto to play with. The advantage firmly sits with Ninetails, but you feel like they need this round a lot more than their opponents do.
Remaining. Last player standing.
Ever, oh, the timing there on the swing. Khan didn't know where the last player was. Another on the board for Ninetails, just about. And that almost fell apart.
The B push has been where the majority of success is, and this jiggle peak is going to get punished. The operator picked up specifically for this round. Dana with ult online is getting ready to use that convergence path, but I'll be honest, it seems a little bit early. There was nobody really challenged by that ult. Sure, it slowed them down, but with the advantage, I'm more interested in the position of 3-3-2. This is a spot that I definitely wasn't expecting to see a defender on, and maybe a chance to take out Piety completely if the spot is made, or maybe a little bit more. No, that's a fake rotate, but can keep the information. It seems like Piety now has the idea, has the read.
Oh, saw the ankle. The shoelace round the corner. That's unfortunate. Was on the site. Haste falls. You feel like this is Sammy's chance to really have that impact, but a known factor at this stage. Graham's will be watching it up in hand. Easy pickup. And Xipto, they seem to have done everything they need to not just lead at the halftime, but to have a decent margin to work with as well. Again, we have promise or hope rather, of
Hello.
what that defensive side could be. This
Hello.
round,
Player
not yet
standing.
done, but 1 HP in the difference. It's just moments away. 8-4 at the halftime. Xipto showing a much better face here on their opponent's map pick.
Yeah, you could see in the early rounds there was still some shakiness, still a player here or there that...
You can see on this map, there's almost no position where that isn't beneficial, where it doesn't allow you to get into a nook or a cranny, and alongside some of the other utility, you can get yourself some decent control. Xipto looking for some of their own as they walk down on mid. There's 2 players here, and Haste, oh, actually catches the timing. Could have ended up with a kill, but it's Graham's to draw first blood, and then they flood around that corner. Numbers being thrown at Ninetails, and
Player
Xipto
standing.
come out ahead in almost every engagement.
Yeah, the fact is, after pushing into mid and being spotted, it actually delayed that middle push and just meant that rather than the attackers surrounding the defenders were able to pincer down. Still an opportunity, though, for Haste. The first goes away without too much trouble, but the paranoia is going to leave her with not a hope in hell. It is Xipto to extend their lead ever further, 9-4.
Well, you can see that Haste certainly was the first shot of the Outlaw rings out. Haste is out of there. Running back over. What's this be signed? Nice shot by Full
much
Moon,
damage.
but in the corner here, Bucky with a chance, and that chance faded very, very quickly. Graham's running for the hills. And even this flank that's coming through, you can see.
They put a star down into this.
No,
But it's whether or not anybody else can get that a little bit further there. Whoa, the realization just comes too late, and actually, Yumi's now managed to do so much
Last
damage.
player
The
standing.
problem is the time, but it's the cost that has been caused. That was 4 guns taken out of the last second, and well, even though Xipto didn't win the round, I think they'll be quite happy with that.
because that's the thing, Tom. You say like, oh, well, they're going to think about the flank, right? Someone wrapping around.
They did put a star in there. Post plant here would be nice, though. That at least makes things a little bit more interesting. Just the sheer direct nature, and actually the Gravwell is too little too late. It's not going to do what was expected. What was around where it looked like there was little hope, now there is some.
The retake over Lamb's not going to be ideal. Instead, they look towards the site. A solid start with Full Moon down already. That flash removed. Nice shot by Ever. That's the weakest weapon in play. You still have the Bookie inside Lambs, but if the rest of them go down, what can the Bookie do in terms of denying that defuse? In fact, being stuck inside this smoke as well, even with the Sheriff, they're not doing anything to stop it. Hold on! That shot landed through the smoke. Blind fire. Haste has to do the same, though. And it will not happen, although the diffuser gets killed.
It does happen,
They'd
just
already
too late.
diffused.
Look at Graham's. Just going walkabouts. It's a fake smoke. She is way past the line, but it's a whiff. She gets out, though. It's fine.
Yeah, safely towards A Heaven. The push out of Bathroom from Xipto's gotten themselves an early trade-off. Thinning out the herd, though, of the defense more so. And then even double down on, but a second player in this position shouldn't be expected. And Piety's able to easily take this back to level ground. The op, though,
I've got your
no
trail.
info on where it is as the Seekers go out. A lot of them going towards that B site, but it's it's dragged the rotates. Xipto have given up A. And Ninetails, where's the spike going? Okay, it is going to the A site. They're going to have a free plant.
I think the worry, though, is because nothing has been spotted by Full Moon, they're starting to doubt themselves whether or not this has actually gone their way. In fact, it's a decent rotation already. Yumi should have a freebie, but no, Dana is playing defense, holding that line and gets a second as well. The flank in, but Ever now watching. There were moments, but Ninetails make it out.
I'd like to see it attempted here, especially now that we've got that double duelist, and it's exactly what they go for. They've gone right down through Bathroom, and they've ended up being flushed out of that position. A 5 versus 4 already as Nightfall goes in, up close. Piety inside the smoke isn't going to get too aggressive, but has players ready to dive into it, and if there's a smoke that's popped, or a flash that's popped rather, there's going to be a big problem with Con already down. Xipto needs someone to step up, and that flash was perfect.
This now becomes incredibly unlikely. Capricious at least does well, but anything from here onwards seems incredibly unlikely. Full Moon has been spotted, and well, the cover was there. I think hopeful that anything would be found. The streak continues for Ninetails, 8th on the board.
Playing a default when you'll always have the numbers advantage for yourself, so an easy push through to the B site. They've used one of their ultimates, which for Xipto already is a decent trade-off. They have to do nothing for that. They've now taken down Dana. There's a potential weapon to be picked up. They'll have to fight for it, but it's ever there. Now they've lost Full Moon as well.
No.
Now Sammy goes down, and this round has crumbled for Ninetails. They need a hero play up against the Eco.
Only one
Pulling them in.
has been retrieved, but already they're trying to use that Cosmic Divide, and it forces them in for the fight. Con with a couple of nasty shots to close out the round, and well, I don't know what the coach of Xipto said, but I really want to know now, because that has pulled off a MasterCard Thrifty to take them to 12. Real has been shot. Spike starting to go back. Now, I'm looking at the fact that Dana's the one with the ult on the other side. Here is that potential piece of aggression. That's a freebie, but the trade from Yumi! A 2-for-1 combo deal that might have just ended the map. Con now with another. It leaves Ever
30 seconds left.
with everything to try and do. A 1 versus 4, 25 seconds. And so much to try, but nothing will come through. It is Con to close. Xipto have done the same on their opponent's map choice. We are going to 3.
For this Vito to get some value, and also for Grams that you know that even if she's going to be on the Omen, she will be holding this operator. She has done it in the past, and she will continue to do it. That was the one condition on the last map, and it can be that one condition to move forward in the tournament.
Dana and 332 were outstanding map 1 where they dominated. They're back again.
Prefer it, but just off the fact that I think the Viper is so good at sort of like controlling that mid position, and I feel like it's difficult to beat, especially on the defense, and also all the sort of space you can take elsewhere. But I'm interested to see what they've got. That's not a bad start. Gone already. An opening pick, and there are a lot of players waiting in heaven.
A big battle off the back of the Paranoia, but now one fired back in the other direction. Already damage coming in from Ninetails as they take a triple on Sammy. But look at the HP, Ever and Haste, so low.
They're going all the way back.
This Ghost could easily make them into Phantoms, but they're nowhere to be seen. They ran back towards this B site. The plant should be found, and Con should have a difficult retake. One thing just to note as well, I like already what we're seeing from Ninetails. That wall here in the pistol just to allow them to siphon into the A side if you're playing further back around screens, like playing the information game. Obviously, though, the one downside is they got caught early.
Oh, timing here is going to be everything. If she gets this right, it could be the backstab that wins the round, but gets it wrong, and it could be what loses them the round. The high HP player with an opportunity, and that's the opportunity, but fair enough, never mind. Count me wrong. Ever will win the fight on her own, and Haste, well.
For Ninetails, decently strong buy coming into this one. Still a fair bit of credits in the back pocket. Only Full Moon that has a real weak, well, actually Full Moon has a stronger weapon, I think, than Ever does. Oh, that's a nice dive by Dana. A nice spray by Ever. Even with the Stinger able to get that done on medium range, and Ninetails are in a 5v3.
The opener from Dana was good, but you could see there was an attempted recovery from Xipto, and that attempted recovery ended up toppling a second domino. Okay, well, it's TP, but I think that has almost definitely been noted, and yep, the Haste has immediately gone in and just obliterated Piety on the other side. Con with a chance for Full Moon, just better, and now only one standing. A nice attempt! Oh, Yumi! That was impressive, very impressive. But it doesn't matter, the round has still gone the other way. Can we get the coaches up again? I want to see if they're still as chill after that one.
Yeah, that was another what seemed to be wide margin that comes down to a nail biter. I mean, the fact that Yumi, we highlighted this, you know, in the previous map that like, oh, Yumi looks so much more comfortable now. The Waylay really suiting her, especially in the first half. This is ridiculous, though. Nothing to do with the agent in play. That's all just aim.
Who's next?
Well, the ult will be popped right off rip from Sammy straight into heaven. From the shadows, the backside, and in amongst the chaos, Dana just takes a free pick, but they haven't spotted Piety. Unfortunately, nothing will come of it. Nothing beyond a sliver of health being removed from, I think it was Dana. Everyone else in a very healthy position. And a 5 versus 3 where, again, Xipto, they have an op, they have a showstopper that I can't see them investing because it would be both committed, essentially, if your op is diving in with a rocket launcher. And even if it finds a double kill, they're still on even footing. If they find a pick or two, it's different. And I see Full Moon going up towards Heaven, but the timing is perfect. That's the op down, and they've given it up. That huge investment. The operator, the 2 rifles, while their players have put their credits down to flat balances, and there was big commitments from them in the previous round in terms of ultimates, but the reality is, for their opponents, being now left onto Sheriffs, that was the perfect time to use them. A big swing round that hasn't swung anything in Xipto's favor. Dana already in, player up top though, could have a freebie. Capricious in with a chance, it's Khan to find it down below. They don't know about Capricious either. Flying under the radar, up high is Khan and Capricious combined deliver what could be Xipto's first round on such a weak investment. That's a huge catch by Haste, but more is needed. And on 40 HP, even the Sheriff is deadly. The body shot needed, but the head connected by Capricious gives a MasterCard thrifty to Xipto.
Last time we saw them play this map, it was a strong defensive half. The strong defensive half has probably gone, and Dana definitely not afraid. Goes for the early fight. Both come out standing, and this time Graham's peak has worked.
Cover going out.
Yeah, strong B main fight for Xipto. Good containment of the space that was being challenged for up in A Heaven as well for Ninetails. All of their early posturing's gotten them nothing. They're effectively back, and that pit is still going to be a real headache to deal with. But getting there is a different story. There's 3 players in position here. Xipto have made the right read, right time, right place. With Full Moon on 13 HP, oh, even the showstopper is going to be put in. That'll certainly swing the round into their hands. I mean, Sammy would need a godlike performance, and it won't be happening today. 5-2 for Xipto. And they do that, saving most of their ults. I mean, I don't even mind the showstopper going through.
I think
just
they used Evolution as well.
Oh, they did? Oh.
Yeah, that was thrown in. That was the one that perplexed me a little bit. it was towards the end of the round, but I guess, again, just wanting to make sure that conversion comes through.
Negation ready. Trap set.
Either way, second round, credits still pretty good for Ninetails. Sure, they'll be 3-3-2 struggling a little bit in terms of the finances. This will be the big start, though. At early operator, a lot of utility being expended, though, should leave Yuumi without any vision. Has to try and reposition.
Paranoia's been dodged on site. Capricious catches Dana, but her back turned, and Sammy's in the ground as well. The re-swing a little bit much, biting off more than she can chew, and now the Viper's Pit's going to be in play, but the Steel Garden put in. Yuumi's up close, but won't find anything. Full Moon with a headshot delivered. The pit didn't even have an effect. Haste won't be expected here in the late round, but with that pit down, now we're in trouble on the site.
Last player standing.
Put under that pressure, but delivering is Khan from that sideline.
That streak of 5 diminished now to just 2 in the lead. Still a purchase. There is a stinger in the mix. Dana has been struggling, but that's a great shot.
And another from Full Moon. So they go towards the A side here. I can see the Heaven control being taken. Well, that clock is running down, and Xipto not showing anything to the attackers. Eventually, the gamble's going to have to be taken.
Yeah, with 2 players in the right place, though. Like, there's not many ways that they could win this, but this is definitely one of them. Flank also about to come in. Flash has been spotted with the spam. Starts to do a little bit of damage. Con's done well, though. Buying some time. Capricious with another. That flank still coming in, but it might be denied by the wall. A push through the smoke would be a gamble, but with 25 seconds, it's patient from Graham's. Already taking down another. This was a 3v5 just moments ago, and Capricious has got one more, still continuing that run of form. Haste had a nice attempt in the last. Is looking for it once again, 70 HP, but doesn't know where that second player is just yet. Capricious has been making that slow move around, looking to group up. Graham's maybe going alone. It's the spam, and it is Haste! A Red Bull clutch to save them. That round almost slipped away, but for her.
Ninetails 7 on the board. The attack side shaping up really nicely. Is this play to back sight from Sam. Sammy seems to have flown completely under the radar. The dimensional drift got them the position, and now the play into heaven is caught. A big catch by Grahams. That's given Xipto a chance.
Yeah, of course, for Full Moon, she wanted a little bit more than one, but the slight hesitation was enough for a trade. Eva just goes pushing, though. Tries to end the round on her own, but it will just be the trade once again. A stun perfectly placed to allow a 1v1 for Dana. She's been winning those. The wraparound comes in again, and it's left all onto Yuumi. Now knowing, well, where one of her opponents is, needs to win this fight, and does. May be able to just get that defuse at least to half. It's going to have to be the move to TP across, but it is quick enough for a 3-3-2. An 8th round onto the board, largely because of her.
Could have seen the round fall apart and fall into the hands of Xipto. Instead, a lead guaranteed by at least 4. Ninetails looking for that little bit extra. Drop down from Dana's good, and Capricious completely caught off guard. No punish from heaven. As Xipto's players sent straight to hell. The wraparound from Dana as well. It's not being watched. It's a freebie. 9-3 at the halftime. They're on their feet again. And Xipto just a few rounds from being sent home.
To get into the post bomb, but I really don't mind it. I said it would be difficult to try those executes. Well, they are going to try those executes. They're going to go for a 5v5 retake. Definitely going to be a little bit more difficult with all of the personnel ready and waiting on the other side. Whitey, the first point of contact has been a rough map for her, and it's not getting any better. Slowed as well was Con. Yuumi, though, at least bringing a little bit back, trying to fight this one forward into a 2 versus 2. As she now goes down and getting a little bit more troublesome for that defense. They are desperately low. Graham still going forward. Only one more left to find. Within the smoke she is. And that's the lifeline grasped with both hands. Graham's with a triple to give them a 4th. Well, yeah, I also want to see if they're going to mirror what they did in the pistol and play a lot of retake because of how strong that double dive is. So I'll be interested. Nice shot already, though. 3-3-2 with the start. With a fairly heavy investment. Guns across the board. Xipto really can't afford too many more casualties, and they're now walking into the stack.
Right into it. The flash has faded already. This is going to be so dangerous with Yuumi. Dropped so easily. And now, Full Moon strikes from the side. Graham's another big play needed. And nothing will be found. A MasterCard Thrifty. A nail in the coffin and dirt piled on top. Ninetails. But what we've seen so far, certainly not promising. Rifles for the attackers. Everybody towards this B site. Graham's already making a play. A big play from Graham's. It's given them the leg up. And it looks like they're going to sweep the feet out from under Ninetails. A 2 versus 4. Dana running it down, doing damage, but not finding the kill. Haste, though, is quick to convert with Yuumi down. And with Con low, the one thing playing in her favor is that the AWP is in her hand. That one-shot weapon looking up top for a kill. In fact, holding that wraparound up close is Piety, but now tagged desperately low as well. It's left into the hands of Dana, but the AWP finally strikes from the back corner. Sat up close in heaven. And just around the corner, stuck now as Yuumi's completely surrounded, but the jump is very much there for Xipto, very much there for Yuumi. Expects the second player, but doesn't catch the kill. Haste does really well to convert that, and now they go walking back into the operator. It's a collateral for Sam Semi. Shaking her head, telling them they're not getting onto her site. Graham's the last one alive, and not for long. Ninetails, the underdog, the home crowd favorite, with 7 chances to close out not just this map.
Post-round, post-game. Don't know if it's going to come back to haunt her at all. Ever the first. And potentially the last round. Look at the buy that's come up for Xipto. And she's managed to get one more before falling back. Everybody on Ninetails wants a piece of the pie, wants a piece of that first victory. Grahams has spotted one, but can't hit the shot. The reaction from Full Moon, and the remaining two will fall like flies. It is Ninetails to win versus an opponent they struggled before in front of their home fans, and will march on here in Seoul.